Here is a box plot example. So I have a random sample of 10 calcium carbonate in milligrams per liter, and these were taken. So here are the measurements, and I want to construct a modified box plot. So the first thing that I want to do is basically find the quartiles. So I wrote down here the 4 different steps. Try to figure out our quartiles. So we want to figure out what Q1, Q2, and Q3 are. We need to figure out what our interquartile range is. That's the IQR. Remember that the IQR is equal to Q3 minus Q1. And then we want to find the upper and lower fences to find outliers. So my lower fence, I'm going to write it as LF, is going to be Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. And then my upper fence is going to be Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. And then I can construct my box plot. So let's go ahead and try this out. So one of the first things to do is to find their quartiles, and usually we can set them in order and try to break them up into different portions, but I'm going to go ahead and use the calculator here just so that it can be really, really fast to figure these out. If you have the TI-36, just follow along. Remember, the directions are on Blackboard. I'll also do it in class this upcoming week. So the first thing that we want to do, we want to press stat, and let's go ahead and edit. Let's go ahead and put in all of our data. So let me get rid of all this stuff that I don't need. I'll get rid of this too. Okay, so I'm going to put in 130.8, 131.7, 129.8, what else? 133, 133.7, then 140.1. 110.2. Oh my god, I'm messing up. 10.2. 132.3. 136.1. I'm almost done. 136.1. 132.5. And then 135.7. Okay. All right, so yes, there should be 10 of them. Okay, I got scared because I said 11. Okay, so there should be 10 of them. So I hopefully put all of that in there. Okay, so now after I put all of that in there, I'm going to press stat again. Then I'm going to go to calculate, and then I'm going to go to one variable statistics. Okay, so that I got to go down to calculate. And then here is what I have. So if I keep scrolling down, it'll tell me what my quartiles are. My quartile 1 is going to be 130.8. So let me just do this. So the first quartile, which is a different color. So Q1 is going to be 130.8. Q2 is going to be my median, which is 132.4. And then I keep scrolling down. Q3 is going to be 135.7. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so we have our quartiles. The next thing that I want to do is also figure out what my IQR is. So IQR is going to be the difference between Q3 minus Q1. Okay. So I'm going to take Q3, 135.7, and I'm going to subtract it by 130.8. Okay, and this is going to give me 4.9. So my interquartile range is 4.9. Okay. All right, now what I want to do, now, so I figured out 1 and I figured out 2. Now let me figure out my upper and lower fences. So my lower fence is going to be Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. So Q1 in this case was 130.8. Minus 1.5 times this 4.9. So let me put that in my calculator. 130.8. Whoops. 130.8 minus 1.5 times 4.9. Let's see what that gives me. So my lower fence is going to be 123.45. So anything lower than that will give me an outlier. My upper fence will be Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. And hopefully this time I don't mess this up. So I'm going to have 135.7 plus 1.5 times 4.9. Okay, so 135.7 plus 1.5 times 4.9. And then I'm going to get 143.05. So anything above this will be an outlier. Okay, I don't think I need to calculate anymore. Okay, so I got most of my information that I need. Now what I need to do is construct this box plot. Okay, so I don't really need this data anymore, but because I have all of this information. So let me draw a number line, and usually on the exam I will give you the number line. That way you don't have to construct all this by hand. So okay, so let me go by 100s. I think that will be helpful. So this is going to be 100. This is going to be, let's say, 110. This is going to be 120, 130, 140, 150. Okay, so let me just go by that. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is plot my median. So let's start off with our Q2. That's going to be 132.4. So 132.4 will be around here. Let me just say this is 132.4. 132.4. My Q1 is going to be 130.8. So let's say it's around here. 130.8. And then my Q3 is going to be 135.7. So let's say it's right here. 135.7. Okay. So here is my box. Okay. So with Q1, Q2, and Q3. Okay. So there's my beautiful box. Now, before I draw my hinges, I need to look for my lower fence and for my upper fence. My lower fence is going to be 123.45. So 123 is around here. I'm not going to do anything here. I'm just going to write a little dot here. So anything lower than that will be an outlier. So if I look for anything that's lower than 123, then that will be an outlier. So anything lower than 123, so here's one. And then that's it. So 110.2 is an outlier. So I'm going to write that 110.2, which is right here. So this 110.2, guess what? You're an outlier. So you can draw a dot or you can draw a little asterisk or whatever you want to draw. Okay. So, and then anything higher than 143, okay, so 143.05 will also be an outlier. So anything higher than 143, well, this guy barely made it, so it doesn't seem like there's any outliers. Okay, so that will be it. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna draw our hinges. Now that we got to taken care of our outliers. So our maximum value, it seems that it's gonna be 140.1. That seems like it's gonna be our maximum value. So 140.1. So this is gonna be this one. So this is gonna be my lower whisker, 140.1. And then my other value, well, this 110.2 is an outlier. So I'm going to look at the next lowest value that's still good. So my next lowest value, it seems that it's going to be this one, 129.8. So 129.8 is going to be around here. Let's just say this is 129.8. That's my next good value. And this is my modified box plot. So the one thing that you do not want to draw, you don't want to draw these things. These are just values that will help you figure out if there's an outlier or not. Other than that, you don't want to graph them. They're not points. They just are there to help you out. And then make sure that you draw your hinges. And if your hinges was an your lowest value was an outlier, then you would choose the next good value. Okay.